It's me, Gabagoo Life, welcome. It's me, Gabagoo Life, welcome. It's me, Gabagoo Life, welcome. It's me, Gabagoo Life, welcome.
That's my opinion!
I'm not gonna even get into it about these individuals misusing their power, in my opinion, me showing Phoenix Pride evidence, having them ignore it. I'm not even gonna get into the fact that my name is slandered. My name is all over the mouths of these two individuals, mainly because the story that I can tell is one of truth. It shows biases, it shows prejudice towards me, it shows actions that misuse their power, and frankly, that doesn't make someone look good. And if you have that sort of story, you may want to try to silence that individual. Now, I'm going to challenge you to go back to last year's 18 plus tent, because Eddie Broadway booked all those individuals. Go compare all those people that were booked hour by hour to the stages that Eddie gets booked in, also to the people who are at Kobalt running shows, are regulars at Kobalt, and see that there's a connection. Though, let's put a pin in it and go back to 2019 really quick. Talk about what really started all of this drama, which is me coming out as non-binary. I had a photo made. I had this idea that I wanted people to share about how they learn to love and be themselves. And I was surrounded by my friends who happen to be trans and people of color, because those are the people I hang out with. Those are the people I love. Those are the people that I get to share a lot of time and energy with. In that photo, because I taped my boobs, I was taken away from the trans man experience. I was called transphobic. I didn't even get to come out because of Eddie and Alexander and Ben and others who try to take that experience away from me. Do I feel like it was heated because of their connection to the queer agenda? Yes. Do I feel like that continues year after year without anyone healing and constantly them putting this narrative on me that is just always like this looming cloud? It's like, yeah, you know, I had to grow up in front of everybody in Arizona. I fell on my face a million times. I made a lot of mistakes. I haven't always been the best personality or the best person, but come on, at some point you got to let that moment go. And every single time there is a conflict, that picture is brought up, and it's like, okay, that's from 2019. You're not sharing the whole story. You're sharing your reaction to me, which is really all of this, is the reaction to me. Flash forward to 2021, I was like, yeah, you know, let's bring these people in, you know, let's try to heal the world. And then that backfired on me because I didn't handle the situation in the manner that they wanted. So I got canceled again by those individuals. Meanwhile, something to be said when Ben Havoc and their partner bring up a moment when I was hosting the Queer Agenda. And I'm glad that we've had this conversation. I'm glad we talked about it. I had no idea about it. But I hugged somebody without saying, hey, consent to hug, because I'm a hugger, right? That's just where I come from. And when I hugged this individual, I didn't know that I triggered them. I set them into a panic attack. Yeah, I didn't ask to hug you, and you know, that's my fault, and I apologize for that. That's a lot of energy to place on me, or just someone that hugged you. It's like, where, I don't understand that. These individuals try to cancel me for, I don't know. At this point in 2021, I feel like it's the third or fourth time. I was still having the tug of war with the queer agenda, like, hey, you guys can't go over to industry. You can't go to another place at the Crescent Ballroom and put your name on something and still get paid. You can't do events and hide them under the Queer Agenda brand. You can't do that. You can't do that. Meanwhile, I got approved in 2020 for the trademark. Thank you so much, trademark, for the Queer Agenda. And I'm very appreciative of that. And I was trying to work with Stacy's. I was trying to work with the girls at the Queer Agenda. I've reached out to Eve All, who's running the Queer Agenda at the time. I reached out to Eddie and other individuals who are involved into that show. And it was all met with resistance, all because I wanted some sort of monetary payment. And I don't think that's impossible, because I put all my money, 16 plus months, into the show. The whole issue was over money with Stacy, the girls wanting to continue to work. So they did invite me back. I think it was like for the 4th year anniversary. And I did that show. I believe I ended up breaking my foot at that show. And me and Eve all got into conflict at that night, because I was like, so you gonna pay me royalties? You're gonna pay me what?